Hello guys, so in today's video, exactly what it says in the name of the title, and how do you bring survival from the Division 1 to the Division 2. I've got a few ideas on it, and I think you might like them, considering the Division 2 is set 6 months after the winter of New York in Division 1, and how do you change some of those game modes and mechanics from the Division 1 survival. And like I said, I've got a few ideas on how you can do it with how the game is now. So I did say one way on Twitter, and a few people have liked it. So right, let's get into it. So in the Division 1 survival, right, you had two options when you went in and loaded up the game for it. You had PvP, or you had the PvE modes. PvP was exactly the same as PvE, yet it gave you a higher score at the end of the game. However, you could easily engage other players, right? And you could also revive other players, I believe, as well in that mode. But you had to use one of your medkits, so that was quite cool. Or if there was one down, you could just finish them off and steal all their stuff, their loot and their crafting materials. Now that was one of the fun things to do. You know, if you loaded up the PvE version and you bumped into another player, you had the option to invite them into your own group. So there was a couple of cool, mechanics there to begin with. You know, I think that how PvP is in Division 2 is quite shit. I'm going to call it out, it is terrible at this moment in time. PvP does need a big overhaul. But even if Survival 2.0, that I'm going to call it, for Division 2, brought back a PvP mode as well, I think that would be really, really cool. And I think it would be much needed because there's a lack of PvP content in Division 2. Conflicts lacks maps. The Dark Zone, the Dark Zones are actually quite boring at the moment. So that would be another good alternative to have in the game, and I'd be up for that, and I know a lot of people would be. But let's get into the newer mechanics that I was just bringing into Survival 2.0. So firstly, let's roll back to how the Division Survival was. So when you load up the game, you would come out of a helicopter crash, you would have an injury and the blizzard to take on. So you had to find painkillers, you had to find food and water, right? So two sorts of painkillers you had, normal painkillers and morphine. Now the game timer lasted an hour. You could extend that duration by taking the painkillers. Morphine was most effective, but your player would get used to it after a while and it'd have less of an impact. Painkillers they didn't last as long after a while. So the key was to use painkillers outside the Dark Zone, using morphine in the Dark Zone. As well as you having to fight the blizzard and the cold, you had to find clothing to keep the player warm. And every now and again you'd have to run up to sort of fires and warm yourself up again while you're hunting for other clothing. But then you had to obviously acquire food and water, one to keep yourself hydrated and fed. So that also gave you the ability to nurse crates as well, or around objects, so you can loot, and then obviously get materials to craft more, weapons and gear, and obviously clothing. All good mechanics. So for the Division 2, what I would suggest is, obviously because the game's set 6 months later and it's in the summer, so we're not talking about anything winter-wise, summer-wise. So say you got to a point of the summer, you combat dehydration and a different type of injury. So wildlife, gunshots, something like what Ghost Recon Breakpoint is doing. So the more damage you take, the slower you are until you can fix yourself up. However, do it as the more damage you take, you have to find painkillers or morphine again, like from Division 1, and that would extend your timer, and it'd extend your time from bleeding out. If you bleed out too much, the session ends, right? So obviously you can still keep yourself healed up using these skills, but then add the next level on top of it, that if you take far too much damage and you don't look after yourself from the game, the injury that you start with, or factoring in dehydration, you die straight away. I think that would be really, really cool mechanic wise as a combination. I don't know how you guys would be able to implement it, but you know, it's a cool idea nonetheless. And I've got an idea for the Dark Zone, not using all three, so obviously going from 24 player maps on Division 1 would obviously tied to sort of 12 players at the moment, so it would be like a 12 player session, and I think that would be quite good, you know. So you get one half of the map that is suitable for 12 players, you know, you get 1/3 of the map or 2/3 of the map, you know, either way. Going to the Dark Zone, however, what I'd say is bring back those elite patrols that roam around the perimeter of the Dark Zone, because in the Division 1 they were quite awkward sometimes if you were unprepared to take them on to fight them. I think with the Division 2's NPCs and their mechanics on flanking, it could be brilliant. And that's before you even get inside the Dark Zone, right? When you get into the Dark Zone, now I'm going to talk about how you bring hunters back, and I think this is a good idea. So, Stalker Hunters, rework them. When you're in proximity, obviously you know you're in proximity to hunters, your HUD goes all fuzzy with their EMP jammers. When you look at them or go to engage a Stalker Hunter, they just run and disappear, right? So your window to kill one is so limited unless, for example, using sharpshooter and you get that perfect headshot. So why don't you rework them? As soon as you engage one, they jump down and they come after you, and you've got no choice but to kill that hunter or it will kill you. I think this is something that needs to be done game wide, not just for Survival 2.0, but well, they're a faction at the end of the day, and with Division 2 the hunter's not utilised enough, and that needs to change. So in the game normally that would be a good one to do. Also, the open world area before you get to the Dark Zone in Survival 2.0, have an odd Stalker Hunter, just with that EMP jammer sort of thing. If you know it's near you, you're going to be careful so you don't engage it, because if you're undergeared, it's going to kill you very easy, very quickly. In the Dark Zone, bring the hunters back for the extraction, right? Because you know they were one of the best things in survival to go up against. When you had a squad of people as well, and you had so 4 hunters, and then it'd make 5 hunters if you had a full squad, or if it was you and someone else, so you get 2 hunters and then an additional one. Then you brought that mechanic into the underground as well for Division 1. Now that'd be brilliant, because the hunters seem more powerful in Division 2 and a lot more fun to go up against. Style wasn't the styling of the hunters in Division 1, I'm still going to say are by far the better ones. They are so much better looking, but hey, personal preference, right? But in the Dark Zone, you're not getting antivirals extracted in Division 2, so you need to, well, Massive would have to work on something worthwhile extracting. I would say a cache, and that could give you exotic components, gear set components, maybe one of any piece of gear set in the game, say one piece of the raid exclusive gear set, you know, any piece, for example. Same with the exotics, right? Spoiler alert, not counting the Eagle Bearer, because I know how the community is with the Eagle Bearer at the moment. But you know what I mean, just, you know, one cache that can give you some of the best loot in the game with high rolls, yeah? You know, tie that into survival. That would be brilliant. And yeah, that's what I think about it. You know, one way to bring survival back, and the community could be happy with it. I know I would be. So yeah, if you like the ideas I thought of about Survival 2.0 and think that they're good and could potentially work in the Division 2, then leave a like on the video, comment on what you think you would change or bring in, and you know, see if one day maybe some of these ideas could make it into the game, because yeah, I think they could. I think there's some solid ideas, you know, hunters, mechanics wise, you know, for surviving. Yeah, I think they could work. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be the end of the video there. So, you know, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and see you in the next video. And if you're looking for a skill build to make, then I will leave my hardwired gear set skill build link in the bottom of the video, because it is actually pretty good, to be fair. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the gameplay of me extracting and killing the hunter. So, right out, peace.